So today I just wanted to show a little trick that I've been kind of perfecting. I do a lot of modeling with equipment that isn't really offered by any of the manufacturers. I model the DM&E and IC&E, and there's not a whole lot of freight cars for them. There's not a whole lot of stuff that's ready to go right out of the box, looking the way it should for what I need. So I've done a lot of re-stenciling, a lot of removing decals, a lot of removing paint to make stuff work for me. Right now I got some of these Circus City decals for DM&E gondolas. ExactRail does a really cool gon, but they sell it as the Oregon Steel Mills, Cowlitz and Western, I believe. But it's the same blue that the DM&E use, so it's just a matter of getting their decals off of it. I think they got, yeah, that's what the logo looks like, that OSM. Or Colorado and Wyoming, I guess, is the initial CW. So today I've got the Microscale out to get this paint markings, whatever, off. I've been soaking all the spots that I want to remove with the Microscale. A little piece of toilet paper put down, kind of keep all that liquid in contact right there so it doesn't just bubble up and sit right on the surface. So it's in contact with the paint that I want to remove. So now it's been sitting on there for 10 minutes, thereabouts. It's a pretty easy little trick here. Make sure my cap doesn't roll off the table. Pretty easy trick. Doesn't take a lot of, you don't need a sandblasting cabinet and, you know, a giant airbrush and everything. You can do this just sitting at a desk. You do it pretty much anywhere. I've done it on trains before, sitting at signals, waiting in sidings. Pull out the Microscale, as long as my conductor doesn't hate, or excuse me, Microscale. As long as my conductor doesn't hate the smell of vinegar, if you can deal with that, I'm good to go. So all I really need to achieve what I need to do is the Microscale, of course, a Q-tip, and a sanding stick. This is like a real fine grit, like a 200 grit. Want something that you can do some wet sanding with, which is what we're going to do. So that stuff's been soaking on there for about 10 minutes. I'm going to get a little fresh Microscale, get a nice puddle going so I'm not starting to work through any of the plastic or anything. All you want to do is take the paint off itself. So I'm going to start just rubbing that. Focus. Kind of an awkward way to do this sitting in the clamshell of the box, but give me about a minute here and we'll come back to it. So here's what it looks like after about 30 seconds. It's starting to wear away down in here in the bottom of the O, but all I'm doing is just sanding around there, following the lettering, just going right along that, keeping a nice little puddle in there. I don't know if you can see it, but there we go, there's a nice angle. There's just enough to kind of keep the whole surface wet there. But I'm just working around there, and I'll give it another minute here, and probably should be about done. So another 45 seconds of that. My sanding stick's starting to get a little ridden hard and put up wet, as it will be. But you can see the lettering's just about gone. If you were trying to do some weathering, some kind of faded paint look, you might be able to do it with this. So that's an option, but another 30 seconds should be all off. So there we have it. It's another 45 seconds or so, and that's it. Now it's just a matter of wiping off that material that was left. There's a little bit right in here. There's a little bit. It's like the front of the O in the small print Oregon. That's still a little bit there. Probably the best thing to do to get that, just because the shape of my sanding stick won't get in there quite. Just taking a tip, just the tip, and only for a minute, of a nice sharp 11 X-Acto blade. And that's about it. That is all it took. It's a little bit shinier than the rest of the paint around it. Just barely. But you know, once I get the decals over that spot, which the D for the DM&E is going right there, go in and dull coat it, you won't notice it. You really won't pick up on it at all. And it's a lot easier than finding one of these cars either undecorated or in a color that's easy enough to strip all the paint off, repaint it into this blue, which is a pain, and re-decaling it all together. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out, and happy modeling.